Hey brother.
Yeah, brother. Hey, brother. Hey, brother.
Hey brother.
Hey, sheepa, brother.
GM, welcome back to the channel. In this one, taking a look at a market update here. We're going to start with some macro stuff, some narrative around Bitcoin and the crypto markets, and then moving to some of the happenings over the last 24 hours. We got Friend Tech airdrop and Eigen updates, cat coins. So if you enjoy that kind of stuff, make sure you do subscribe to the channel and we'll jump in. So to start here with BTC, you can see we bounced off this kind of line here. This aligns with a previous monthly candle from back in 2021. And we did bounce off that. You can see around 56.5K. Bitcoin definitely not out the woods though. We're at 59s. We've gone as high as around 60K here, but we would like to see this reclaim back inside this previous range. Sooner the better, really. So at this moment, there is obviously still risk to the downside, but generally across the board, you're seeing a bit more optimism in the market. We were hit with so much negative news that it seemed that it was only a matter of time before we would have something positive come out, or at least there would be an exhaustion to the kind of sell-off and the trend, which was negative. So you can see the breakdown here, which pretty much came from this huge outflow from the ETF providers, showing you that the ETF participants, the boomer money that you thought was just going to buy only, they're just as likely to flip-flop opinion as any of the rest of us. They've just got a different product to do it with. So as you can see, huge outflows across the board. BlackRock, all of them out really. So you can see that everything was negative on that day. $500 million, and this kind of pushed us through the bottom of here and maybe provided that candle to actually nuke us out of the range and potentially provide a bottom here as well. So pretty clear to see ETFs are going to be reflexive on the way up and the way down. In terms of narrative though, the ETF in Asia, so Eric Balchunas posted this just yesterday, showing that the Hong Kong ETF was actually preceded with a load of money. So the day one numbers were a lot bigger because this was preceded with $292 million. And it didn't show as volume, hence we thought it was a bit of a flop at 11 mil of inflows. But that was the pre-seed there from investors in that region. So it does kind of change the picture a little bit and change the narrative. In terms of narrative as well, the Fed's balance sheet runoff has been tapered. So if you listen to the FOMC, Jerome made it very clear he did not want to state the words rising interest rates. Like they were trying to press him on the fact, could you potentially increase the interest rates going forward this year? And he just didn't let those words come out of his mouth. So clearly the Fed will keep rates higher for longer and static, but they do need to cut as there's a load of debt they need to roll over. And as you can see here, they've started some of this taper to QT. So down from 60 bill runoff down to 25 bill runoff. So that is going to be a positive thing for markets overall, and there was a positive reaction to that. So a bit of a turning of the tide. Now this one's a little bit more contentious. M2 apparently now ticking up. If you can see that tiny little green circle at the bottom here, I've seen a lot of comments around this, people saying that the figures don't account for XYZ, and I'm no expert on this, so I'm not sure if this is an actual correct statement here that the money supply is back on the up and up. And even if it is, that is pretty damn flat anyway. So we'll wait and see with that one. But turning of tide overall. We've also seen more marketing coming from the BlackRock camp here. So Fink and the head of their digital assets division have been saying quite a few positive things this week. So maybe trying to slow some of the fears from those ETF huge outflows. So this statement came out, BlackRock sees sovereign wealth funds, pensions coming in to buy Bitcoin ETFs in the coming months. So if that is expected, you may see some front running of this. And maybe this plays into the next slide from Mr. 100 that James posted, because this guy, whoever Mr. 100 is or she, 3,300 Bitcoin scooped in 6 hours. So you can see on the 2nd of May here, just yesterday, 100 BTC purchased, 300, 100, 100. So for every seller in the market, there is a buyer and vice versa. You have capitulation from ETFs, but someone in the market here scooping up big and really getting down and dirty, scooping up a shed load of Bitcoins there. So that's the kind of macro updates here. And hopefully we'll see a recovery from Bitcoin in here, but we could well chop round in this region. Listen to Crown's analysis this morning. He's saying potentially we get a push down again towards the lows. We just need the lows to hold. And then we would like to, in a bullish scenario, see a reclaim of this previous range. And then we could potentially be back off to the races over the coming months. But let's move on to some meme coins and news. So let's talk about the cat coins. So meme coin culture has ticked up a notch here with cat coins doing very well. And Mitchie is the one that seems to be the kind of next one out of the trenches, if you will. Shark Cat as well, potentially going to do very well here. They're both around a similar market cap right now. They've both come from very, very low from the trenches, as I say, and they are now looking like they can potentially kick on. They're both over 100 mil market cap. This is the cat coin standings for those interested. PopCap number one, just over $500 million. Ticked up to over 60 cents yesterday. Be nice to see a consolidation here for PopCat as the market leader. And I would expect we'll start to see tier one exchange listings of these tokens over the coming week. And so Mew, which is more of a VC-led meme coin, is currently number two. I think Mog will flip that as it is a culture coin in crypto. And then to find these newer ones, they haven't got their market cap listed on here, but you can see Mitchie is one of the highest performers here. I think it's around 125 mil market cap right about now. And you've also got Shark Cat in here somewhere, which has also been doing pretty well over the last few days. But it looks like Mitchie may be the chosen one. And if you just go into the Twitter profile of this, just check out the media tab and see how memeable this little cat is. The fact it can go with all these different pictures or be suited up in various costumes, similar to the kind of whiff vibe of putting the hat on stuff. So definitely interesting, the memeability of this one. You can see why it has started to really break free into that kind of next tier of meme coins. Over 100 mil, you're starting to cook there and looking for, tier one, tier two listings, and then potentially kicking on towards billions of dollars in market cap. But as yet, we haven't seen a cat coin break $1 billion. So hopefully PopCat will be the first, and that'll set the stage for the rest of them. Now moving on to Friend Tech news. The Friend Tech token launch has occurred and the airdrop page is live. If you want to log into your profile and see, I think you can claim like 10% of the tokens now as an airdrop. They haven't really released anything, which is a bit odd. It's just a dot. Friend Tech website will be temporarily down whilst we make a major update, that V2 launch, which brings about a token. The actual user interface looks exactly the same as it has done for the last like 8-10 months. And on top of that, it's kind of the same laggy experience as well. So a lot of people obviously a bit downbeat about this right now, but we've seen this a few times recently that people haven't got the payday they wanted, these dump and then they can recover. So quite interesting though, the current market cap is just $16 million, which is crazy, crazy low. But maybe you could argue that is fair, seeing that the user interface is pretty bad. But this sell-off looks a bit like the Camino one. So this was a Camino airdrop just the other day, got absolutely nuked at the start, but then over the last couple of days here, started to really recover. So you might see a similar chart play out here, nuke to start today, and then maybe you'll find a bottom and then people will start to buy in. But we'll have to wait and see. Obviously the American markets, like the American wake up time hasn't occurred yet today. A lot of the airdrop participants, the receivers, will be US citizens, I guess. So when these guys wake up in the next few hours, maybe this will dump even further. Is it an opportunity at like 15, 16 mil market cap? Maybe, as it is the kind of first out the gates in terms of the social platforms in crypto. In terms of tokens though, max total supply it states here is around 20 million tokens. We did hear there was going to be 100 million tokens. So I'm not sure exactly how this is going to work out, but currently on base scan here, as this is a token on base, the layer 2, it's saying that this contract's got 12 million tokens in it. I believe they're being released as people receive the airdrops. It's just dipped below $1 here. I'm not exactly sure, as we haven't got confirmed numbers from the team as of yet, whether there will be 100 mil tokens or whether they're going to keep this as a lower supply token than previously thought. But I think it will be, if I had to guess, 100 mil tokens, and it seems that around this number of tokens, 20 mil, are currently released, and the rest maybe will be eked out over time. So do watch for a potential movement like this, like the Camino chart did for Friend Tech, but especially when people haven't got a huge windfall on day one, you'll see a lot of negative sentiment around that, but maybe best to not claim until the price starts to recover. As I think sub $1, you're just giving away your tokens at that point. Then last thing of note here, Eigen Layer. As I mentioned in the kind of tokenomics vid we did just yesterday, they've had a huge outflow or withdrawal requests, as it does take 7 days to remove your staked ETH from the Eigen protocol. They've had a huge outflow here. So you can see from the chart there, an absolute dumpage with that huge spike up there. You can see that is the withdrawal queue count. A load of people tried to withdraw their tokens after being probably despondent with how the airdrop is being allocated. So it says Eigen Layer, the leading ETH restaking protocol, 14 billion TVL, has faced over 12,000 withdrawal requests. So this represents around 11% of users asking for withdrawal. So this will significantly impact the TVL, and that TVL is a driver of the valuation of Eigen. So the VCs looks like they're going to be shooting themselves in the foot here. However, they have released this today with a bit more clarity on things. So complaints have been heard and they've tried to make some adjustments. So the main takeaways here are this. There's going to be an additional 100 Eigen given out to more than 280,000 users. This will be the batch in which most of us will fall in. So if you have staked with them, you're going to get an additional 100. The minimum you could have got was 10 Eigen. So that was the floor amount of Eigen airdrop, which probably wouldn't have been worthwhile anyone actually claiming with gas. But now you're going to get a minimum 110. So they've pulled forward some rewards from season 2 and they're going to give them out in this initial drop. This initial drop comes on May 10th. However, timeline for the actual tokens to be transferable here, September 30th, 2024. May, June, July, August, September. 5 whole months to wait to actually be able to sell the damn airdrop, which is pretty crazy indeed. So thought I would leave that here. But I just want to finish up. We've got a bit of an expert in to deliver a quick explainer on exactly what Eigen Layer does. So this should sum up any questions you may have around what does Eigen actually do. So I'm going to roll the VT now. I'll see you in the next one, guys. Peace.
Here at Rockwell Automation's world headquarters, research has been proceeding to develop a line of automation products that establishes new standards for quality, technological leadership, and operating excellence. With customer success as our primary focus, work has been proceeding on the crudely conceived idea of an instrument that would not only provide inverse reactive current for use in unilateral phase detractors, but would also be capable of automatically synchronizing cardinal gram meters. Such an instrument, comprised of Dodge gears and bearings, Reliant electric motors, Allen Bradley controls, and all monitored by Rockwell software, is Rockwell Automation's Retro-Encabulator. Now basically, the only new principle involved is that instead of power being generated by the relative motion of conductors and fluxes, it's produced by the modial interaction of magneto-reluctance and capacitive diractance. The original machine had a base plate of prefamulated amulite surmounted by a malleable logarithmic casing in such a way that the two spurving bearings were in a direct line with a panometric fam. The lineup consisted simply of 6 hydrocoptic Marsal vanes, so fitted to the ambifacient lunar wane shaft that side fumbling was effectively prevented. The main winding was of the normal Lotus O deltoid type placed in panendermic semi-boloid slots of the stator. Every 7th conductor being connected by a non-reversible Tremi pipe to the differential girdle spring on the up end of the gram meters. Moreover, whenever fluorescent score motion is required, it may also be employed in conjunction with a drawn reciprocation dingle arm to reduce sinusoidal depleneration. The Retro-Encabulator has now reached a high level of development, and it's being successfully used in the operation of Milford trunnions. It's available soon wherever Rockwell Automation products are sold.